Here I have 1 big onion, I have my 3 green chilies, 2 ginger clove and 2 garlic cloves, so the same amount of ginger and garlic. And here is my oil. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my ginger, chili and garlic in right now. And why we strain it is so that the extra oil comes out, and we don't want the dish to be too oily. So now this is done, it's strained. I'm gonna take this oil, put it back in this pan and start making the curry just with onions, garlic, green chilies and tomatoes. But first of all, I always like to put in my ginger, garlic and green chilies in the oil. That is very minimal because this is a cast iron pot, so don't worry about how it looks. It's gonna end up being delicious. Put it in, you're gonna hear the sizzle. That's what we like. And then after this, we're gonna go ahead and put some salt, about half a tablespoon or less depending on your taste buds. And once this becomes golden brown, we're gonna go ahead and add in the onion. The reason why I do this is because there's no water from the onion to stop the flavors from these spices coming through. And this is a very traditional Afghan dish with very minimal spices. This is literally all you need and you're gonna just love it. So I'm starting to smell the garlic and the ginger and the chili, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in my onions. And if you don't see it becoming golden brown, another way for you to tell that it's time to put your onions is if you start smelling the herbs. So now we're gonna go ahead and mix this, caramelize the onion. Once the onions are caramelized, we will add in 2 to 3 big tomatoes because we want it to be really juicy. The onions are caramelizing. Let me tell you why I fried up the okra first. We fry it up a little bit. That will keep the okra from being mushy and letting out water when we add it to the rest of the curry. And the reason why I strain it like this is, as you can see, more oil is coming out. This way I have put very minimal oil here in my pan so that I will use the other oil coming out of the okra and put it in here. So overall we get very less oily dish, very delicious, crisp and very nice texture in your mouth. A little bit crunchy but not too crunchy, and soft and delicious. So now we're gonna wait for the onions to caramelize, flipping it around every few minutes, keeping the heat on 3 to 4 because we don't want the bottom to catch, especially if you're using a cast iron pan like me. Onion reaches this consistency or less charred than this, you can stop it, add it in a little blender cup like me with about 90 mLs of water and blend it. Why I'm doing this extra step is because it will give me a very smooth and velvety texture for the sauce when I go ahead and add the tomatoes. So now I'm gonna add this in the blender and blend it. So our blender is on and I'm gonna just go ahead and press dressing. At this point I've gone ahead, cleaned my pan, which is super easy to do, added the extra oil that came out from the straining okra right here, and gone ahead and added my onion mixture back in here. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this and let it simmer for about a minute before I go ahead and add in my tomatoes. So now the onion is ready, and as you can see I have 1 chopped tomato right here and I've chopped it very roughly. You don't even need to take the ends out if you don't want to, like I did because I was being lazy. We just add in all of our 3 tomatoes and mix it and cover the top for about 5 minutes. Make sure you come and check in between so it doesn't burn. I've covered the top. I'm gonna let it keep simmering and cooking like this for about 5 to 10 minutes depending on the thickness of your tomatoes and how your oven is. Just make sure you come and mix in between so that it does not burn. And once the tomatoes all the way melted with the rest of the sauce, we can go ahead, add the okra and let it simmer for another 5 minutes, and then our dish is ready to eat. So it's been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna open this and this is what we want. Look at that beautiful color. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in all of our okra. Here we go. And once I add in our okra, we're gonna go ahead and mix everything together and cover the top and let it simmer for another 5 to 10 minutes depending on how soft you want it. I usually go for about 8 minutes. And then you're ready to eat. Make sure the heat is on low so that the bottom doesn't catch. So while my okra is simmering, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to make this delicious yogurt sauce. We just need dried mint, a little bit of salt, yogurt, and some water. And then mix it all in so it becomes very nice and thick and runny at the same time. And then we're gonna layer this on the bottom of this plate and serve our curry on it. Look at this delicious sizzle. Here we go, our delicious dish is ready. And if you're questioning the yogurt sauce, please don't. Once you try it, you will know what I'm talking about. So go ahead, get a big piece of bread and dig in. Now we're gonna go ahead and dig in. So try this easy dish that is super delicious and let me know what you think. Enjoy. And of course, if you're somebody like me who's trying to eat healthy, you can substitute the bread for quinoa and it tastes just as good. And here we go. So creamy, rich, sweet, and salty at the same time. So enjoy this easy, delicious recipe.